Welcome back to Next Life Garage. We're sitting here with Buck again. While she's in the sick bay for figuring out our fuel problem, I figured I'd go ahead and take the windshield channel out, take a look behind that thing, see just how bad things are back there, see if we might be able to seal it up temporarily to get it sold. Obviously we'll disclose that to the next seller, but the windshield does need to be replaced, so they could take care of that issue at that time. But right now we're just going to see how bad the metal is back there, see if it's rusted through, and see if we can't get it temporarily sealed so we can send her on down the road to her next life. Got a little tool here for picking that channel out. Little hooks grab the tabs that hold that channel on, and it should just pop out. Should. That came out pretty easy. Some of the spring clips in there are a little messed up. I may have to try and source some of those to replace them. I'm going to get the fuzz buster out, suck out around that windshield channel, and we'll take a closer look at what's going on in there. We'll get y'all off the stand here, give y'all a closer look at that windshield channel there so y'all can see what's going on. I don't see anything rusted through. I do have a lot of dirt and debris in there, and when we wash the car and when it rains, it seems like it's leaking right here around this rear view mirror where it attaches. Like I said, I don't see anything rusted through. I think we just got some holes in the windshield seal in there. So we're going to try cleaning out that channel with Q-tips and paper towels, alcohol, glass cleaner probably. Stick a little silicone in there, see if we can seal it back up. We do have some of these little springs broken, like right there, but there's a good idea of what those springs look like that hold the channel in, right underneath that little lip right there. And this tool just pulls those springs back. You see it just opens that spring up a little bit so that the spring will let go of that windshield channel. But we're going to get this cleaned up, see if we can get it sealed back up, and get this one back down the road. I got the upper windshield channel right here cleaned out. I've got some silicone in there, supposed to dry clear. You can see the cooler temperatures here in the garage are keeping that stuff from curing quite like it should. And it did shrink a little bit down into this gap, so we'll come back over it and fill it back in. I ended up cutting out the seal down to bare metal in there so that we'd get a good adhesion on the silicone to keep it from leaking. I'm going to go down the channel here on the side, as this stuff's kind of loose and peeling up, and the window wasn't put back in place real well. I'm assuming after the little Mako paint job that it got. We've got about a 3/4 inch gap here on the co-pilot side, and over on the pilot side we've got less than a 1/4 inch gap, so it wasn't put back in quite right when it was reinstalled. But I'm going to cut the seal out of this side and clean it up with the whisker bit, show you kind of what I did up in this upper channel to get it clean, and we'll move on to the back window and get it sealed up once we finish this one. I am going to have to go get more silicone because that thing ate up a lot more of it than I thought it would. But I'm going to get on this channel right here with the X-Acto, well, box blade, and the little whisker bit to get it cleaned up, and we'll get that sealed back up as well. this is what we end up with after we clean out the channel. We'll stick some silicone back down in there and seal that side back up. Take you around to the pilot side and show you how gummed up that side is compared to what we just did here. And this is exactly what I did up top to get that cleaned up to re-silicone. And this is the pilot side. Still got the adhesive sealer in there, and it's all gummed up and gooped up and piled in there, jammed in, whatever you want to call it. But that's what it looked like over on the other side. Not quite as tight though. The window glass is just right there, so that's less than a 1/4 inch gap there between the edge of the glass and the A-pillar on the pilot side. Use the old finger method to smear that down in there. We'll let that side cure up while we move on to the back window. Of course, I don't expect this to cure up today. It's probably been a day or so since I put this top in, and it's still not cured. But I'll move on to pulling the channel out of the back window and see if we got any issues going on back there as well. Looks like the back one's about as nasty as the front one as far as dirt and grime goes, but just give you an idea, all the dirt down in there. We'll get loosened up, vacuumed out, and get her sealed back up. This rear channel doesn't look as bad as the front and the side channels. There's quite a bit of dirt in there from sitting under the trees for a few years, but all in all, it's not that bad back here. I think our trunk leak was coming from the trunk lid seal. It's good to take this stuff off and just inspect everything while it's in here. I think we're going to be good on the back window there. I did a little research here in the back, dumping some water down the rear window and across the back of the trunk, and I see where our trunk seal is leaking right across here. Pretty big spot, about 1 foot, and you got a few little drips here, here, and there. So I'm going to order a new trunk seal, stick in this thing, see if we can't keep the back of this thing dry going forward. But the good news is there's no leak coming from that back window, so that's a good thing. So I guess it's a waiting game now on the front windshield for that silicone to seal up, so I can fill that channel back in up on the top a little bit better and come back and fill in this side channel. Hopefully this front windshield will be sealed up then. We'll give it a few days to cure and finish up this video at that point. Day 197 here. Really hadn't been that many days, but it's been quite a few. At least 2.5 weeks. But we did finally get our trunk seal in from Steel Rubber Products. I'll put a link in the description to them. But I wanted to show you what I did here just to kind of clean up this channel a little bit before I stick that new seal in. Just took the whisker bit on the drill, laying down here on the floor, and took it to the channel here for the trunk, cleaned out all the rust and debris and dirt and everything, and it's not perfect, but it should be good enough to get our new replacement replica trunk seal in there. On the left you're looking at the Steel Rubber Products A-body replica for the trunk, and on the right there you're looking at whatever body shop or owner put in the trunk to try and seal it up. Tremendous difference between the two of those seals. So I'm going to get to work on sticking the seal in and peeling that backer off to get it stuck down in the channel, and then we'll give it a water test, make sure the trunk stays nice and dry this time. And got the new seal put in. Just pushed it in the channel, made sure it's nice and snug. Pulled the backing off of the 3M adhesive, just stuck it down. I still got to bend these little tabs down around the corners on both sides, but that should take care of our trunk leak. We're going to close the trunk down, let it squish on that seal while that 3M tape cures, and we'll see how this one does. We did get the front windshield channel put back in. Sorry for not showing you guys that, but it went in pretty easy. Just use the palm of your hand to kind of knock it into place. Windshield wipers back on, and we don't have any leaks on the front window anymore, so that's good news there. Well, that's going to wrap up this episode of Drying Out Aunt Buck. I'm going to be glad to have this one out of the garage, and I'm sure the wife is too. Her car is due next, the sweetest child. We've got a coolant leak on it that needs to be fixed, and we're also going to be upgrading on the radiator and the charge air cooling system. They left things to be desired on that particular car, but we're going to get to upgrade on things, and y'all are going to get to join in. And until next time, don't take no wooden nickels, and be good. Somebody's got to. I'll see y'all on the next one.